ครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ Good evening and welcome to our special edition of Thai PBS English News Service. I'm Rung Tip Chonapalai.
And I'm Supachon Quinsuwan, bringing you the latest updates of the flood situation, broadcasting live from Chulalongkorn University's Faculty of Communication Arts. Now, just to make sure that everyone is on the same page, at the moment, the flood waters that's coming in from the central region, which is the north of Bangkok, we're talking from Ayutthaya, from Pathum Thani, is coming at a lower rate at the moment, but it's up to how we administrate the water that's already in Bangkok at the moment.
Yes, and cleanup has already begun in Nakhon Sawan, but parts of Ayutthaya are still underwater. The downtown district in Ayutthaya, however, is dry, but in the industrial area is still flooded, especially in Rojana Industrial Park. About 70% of Japanese industries, factories are still underwater, while Bang Pa-in industrial area will start to pump out water on Wednesday and hope some factories will open by early December.
Right. Meanwhile, residents in northern Bangkok and authorities have agreed to remove some parts of the big bag and open a barrier to 7 meters wide, which experts say will not affect water gushing into inner Bangkok. Water levels along Vipawadi, Rangsit, Phahon Yotin, Lat Prao and Ratchada roads have also receded. Opening the big bag barrier is reducing the difference of water levels between areas above and below the barriers. Last week saw a 23-centimeter difference, which brought an outcry and led to remove the barriers at their own will. Today, water levels above the barrier is 90 centimeters or chest level, while below the barrier is now 75 centimeters.
Water experts, including Associate Professor Seri Supratit, says earlier that the Big Bag Barrier will not prevent inner Bangkok from inundation. At the moment, a joint committee between locals, the Bangkok Metropolitan Authority, and the Flood Relief Operations Center are debating whether to maintain or remove the barriers. Considering the effects it might cause, our reporters in the field are saying that locals are not worried about the water levels, but are more concerned over the pollution that comes with the water.
Right, and Thai PBS reporters in the field also say that water on some parts of Ratchada Pisek is receding to almost pre-flood levels, while small vehicles can now pass the Lat Prao intersection, which only last week was off limits. Cars and motorbikes can run from Victory Monument to BTS Moshit Terminal Station, but from BTS Moshit, passing Lat Prao intersection to Latrayotin is not yet a walk in the park. Yet, Ratchayotin to Kasetsat intersection is not recommended for small vehicles.
Officials are doing their best to drain out Klong Plem and Bang Sue canals, as the overflowing of both canals will make inner Bangkok become more vulnerable to the flood.
Right, and just before we started our program, you might have heard Kun Paween Amai mentioning that water at the Bang Sue canal has now gone over the dikes, right, near Padipat and Intamara. Very close to where you live.
Well,
okay.
Maybe if it stay until, for a week, right?
Yeah, at least you get the compensation.
I will get 5,000 baht from the government.
Right. Now, meanwhile, Rama 2 is not yet flooded, but along the road has become partially flooded. Residents are being forced to consider other ways to get down south.
Rama 2 is the main road that leads to the south. Drivers will have to rely on Highway 340. Rama 2 is closed or becomes even more flooded. 4 roads that lead to Highway 340 have sustained damage. 2 of the 4 have since been repaired. Fixing them has been difficult because they are still quite flooded. Big vehicles still can't get through. Officials have had to use big concrete pipes as barriers.
And once again, we want to stress that Rama 2 road is not yet flooded, but the communities near Kanchana Pisek outer ring roads are on lower ground, so the water is about a meter high on Rama 2 on Soi 69 and 88 in the Bang Khun Tien district. The water has been there for about a week now, but authorities have promised to bring in more water pumps. But Kun Subachon, if you're looking to go to the south, Thai Airways has just reduced price on flights going to the south in Krabi, Surat Thani, Phuket, Hat Yai, and Samui. It's very happy to see the private sector having doing so much in this crisis. Just recently, some private sectors along Rama 2 road have just dug their own canal. Costing them about 300 million baht.
But they're paying for that expense.
Exactly. The private sector is covering that expense. Meanwhile, the Irrigation Department at the FROC says the water has receded in many areas in the north, but there are still districts that need to be on alert.
By Wednesday, the water levels should be decreasing and the riverbank of the Chao Phraya and Tha Chin rivers should be visible. Nakhon Sawan has dried up, but water in the low-lying plateau needs to be drained into the river. Right now, the irrigation department is trying to manage the water in the east and push it to the Rangsit Canal so it can drain to Nakhon Nayok province. The water is moving south toward the Sansap Canal, so the areas still on alert are Sai Mai and Minburi, which are the east of the capital.
Meanwhile, the Bangkok Metropolitan Administration says officers are working 24 hours and are putting 100% of their efforts in making sure they drain the water that is still lingering behind. Officials hope to reopen roads in Don Mueang, Sai Mai and Lat Phrao in the next 7 to 10 days.
As for the water in the west of the Chao Phraya River, the situation is improving. Workers are draining the water from the Chao Phraya Dam. Any water coming from the west will be pumped to the sea.
Inner Bangkok is still being declared a safe zone. The chances of water reaching south of Victory Monument are very slim, but officials do warn that water may come up from the sewer, but in a small amount. Now, one issue that many people are focusing on at the moment are the industrial estates of La Krabang and Bangshan, Dr. Untip.
And earlier, Kun Supachon, I spoke to the chairman of GISDA, Dr. Somjet Thinapong. He says that we still need to keep an eye on the La Krabang industrial estate. I also spoke to the owner of the group of factories. Here is what they have to say.
I would just like to say that the water level is manageable at this state of affair. The floodplain is manageable, but there are 3 more key words that we have to be careful is, okay, we can feel comfortable, at the same time be cautious, be conscientious in working, be cautious in trying to take care. I think everything will be all right.
So how long would it take from now?
We have to go as far as the end of this month because now the tide is at the peak and running down, but I think we will have a second peak at the end of this month.
I can say that I'm 50% confident because we have to monitor 24 hours and it's still water, a lot of water out there. If the dive along the industrial estate is quite long, 17 kilometers. If it's broken down, the industrial estate will be flooded.
Some people are still saying that foreign media's overreaction to the flood situation in Thailand is also causing misunderstanding, Dr. Untip.
Yes, Kun Supachon, that's why the Deputy Prime Minister Kun Kitirat Naranong has explained at the APEC Summit in Hawaii that Thailand is ready to begin building a waterway and a big canal to help drain rainwaters in the future. Meanwhile, the ASEAN Summit begins tomorrow in Bali, Indonesia. As of now, Prime Minister Yingluck Shinawatra is scheduled to attend. It will be Thailand's opportunity to reassure foreign investors and declare to the world stage that this disaster will never happen again. It's also a chance to explain the kingdom's long-term plans in which the government will get help from various companies.
Meanwhile, the Japan International Cooperation Agency, or JICA, says they will help Thailand with the technology to build a better water management system. And if Thailand needs loans, the World Bank has offered money, as well as the Asian Development Bank, or ADB, and JICA, since these organizations have experience in giving loans to countries devastated by natural disasters. Getting across town in this situation where floodwaters everywhere might be difficult for many in the capital, yet some residents and foreigners are now relying on the mass transit system. Here's more with Kun Klaikangwon Wacharanongun.
The airport rail link is one of the few bodies that has actually profited from the flood crisis. About 10,000 more passengers are riding it each day. During this month and next month, the line can carry up to 40,000 passengers daily. The Makasan station has also opened its parking lots for people who want to store their cars away from the flood waters. The parking of Airport Link Makasan station has 400 cars that affect from the flood. We can confirm they are safety. In the other hand, the flood have the best benefits for MRT, BTS and Airport Link. The parking lot can hold up to 400 cars at the station, while they are currently safe from floodwaters. The airport link, BTS and MRT could still be flooded. For those who have left their cars here, you can call the Suvarnabhumi Railway Police Station to check up on it. That number is 02-222-2169. While the floods have crippled tourism in Thailand, many foreigners still trust that the government can handle the crisis. One passenger was very impressed with Thailand's transportation system, which he says is very reliable, saves time and budget.
นั่งแท็กซี่หรือว่ารถเมล์เพราะว่าเราไม่แน่ใจ It's good. It's better than taking a taxi or bus because we're not sure where it's flooded or if there's traffic.
Although the floods have made getting around town very difficult, there are some commuters who are very happy with the mass transit system, including the airport rail link. Passengers can leave the car at home, reducing traffic on the streets. I'm Grai Kangwon Wacharanongkul reporting for Thai PBS.
Apart from the airport link, we still have the BTS, which is the monorail, and also the MRT that are working just efficiently.
Exactly. Thank you, Khun Klai Kangwon. And for those of you who are worried about the industrial sector, our water expert, Associate Professor Seri Suparathit, says that if Bang Chan and La Krabang can maintain the water outside the industrial walls for another 7 days, the chances of the two industrial sites being flooded is unlikely, Dr. Rungtip.
Okay, here is the flood projection with Khun Darin Kong Ankara and Associate Professor Seri Suparathit.
Thank you, Dr. Rungtip and Khun Supachon. It's true that the chance of the risk of the industrial estate now is very low, right? Yeah, but before we go to that, we will talk about the meeting that you have met the Prime Minister and also the expert from Netherlands. Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we learn a lot from them. Yeah, at least that the Dutch experience taught me a lot. Yeah, because of the Dutch is near the sea. Yeah? It's like a Bangkok. It's, the elevations also below the sea.
Yes.
So Bangkok also have the same problem with the Dutch. Okay. You see the video.
Let's see the picture this morning.
Yeah.
That we have met the Prime Minister and also the Dutch ambassador.
Yeah.
Mr. Ambassador talk with you and also the water expert from Netherlands.
Yeah. That what he says. 3 important issues. One is that the government have to give the right information at the right time, at the right place.
Yes.
Yeah? That's one. The second one is communications between stakeholders. Should be very clear.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, the third one is that warning system and should be disseminated to the people at the right time.
So we should have early warning, maybe 10 days or 7 days or 3 days before evacuation, right?
Okay.
So now we go to the point of the Bang Chan Industrial Park and La Krabang Industrial Park.
Yes.
You told me that these 2 industrial parks will be safe now, right?
Yeah, because in terms of the water inflow from the north, we found that as you seen that we used the helicopter to survey yesterday. And then we see that the inflow has something like a stop at the Pohonjotin Road. That means all the flood water above the Pohonjotin Road will be go to the Chao Phraya River. So
that's good news.
We survey along the Suwintawong here and then Raminta. See, the only main problem is that the flood volume in the fields, not the flood volume in the canal. Here you see, you have some parts like this 4 kilometers of the flood overflow.
It's on the roads.
Yes, on the road.
In
and
the
then
fields.
this one 100 meters around here, and then 500 meters around here, 1 kilometer around here, and 1 kilometer, 100 meters around here. So all this overflow, spin over the road. Here, this coming daily is about 13 million cubic meters. You see, if now they maintain the water levels. Now
Yeah.
they can maintain, right? I think this is the amount of the flood water here is about 67 billion cubic meter now, and they can maintain. If it within 7 days that they can maintain this level, the Lat Krabang will be safe.
How about the Bang Chan
This one
Industrial
also,
Park?
Bang Chan real estate almost get the water from, you see, from this one here, and then also from this one. Both about 8 billion cubic meter per day here. And so, and then they drain also the Sunset Canal, and they use so many pumping facility. Yeah, and so now the water level is still nearly constant. Yeah, also if they can maintain also within 1 week, also they will be safe in the future.
Yeah.
But we should monitor again that because of I only worry about the pumping capability. Yeah, this is very important thing.
Okay, that's a good news. Thank you, Dr. Seri. So tomorrow we will follow this issue, and we will go to visit the Lat Krabang Industrial Park again with the expert from the Netherlands also, Dr. Rungtip and Kun Supachon.
And Associate Professor Seri Suparatit. That's good news indeed.
Very good news indeed.
Yes.
And Associate Professor Seri has also mentioned that the Bang Su Canal is a very important factor, as if this canal overflows, the chances of inner Bangkok being flooded will be a bit higher. Now, just recently, as we mentioned before we came in, that the Bang Su Canal at the Paripat and Intamara areas have already overflown. Now, however, for the further updates, of course, in the Thai language, will be in our flood updates, but of course in Thai.
Yes, tonight. And meanwhile, tomorrow, the Ministry of Transportation will propose a 18 billion baht budget at tomorrow's weekly cabinet meeting. The money will be used to recover Don Mueang Airport, as well as repairing both the main roads and the roads that connect central Thailand to the north and the northeast. The money will also go to recovering 800 educational institutions.
Now, as for the airport, the government says it wants with the airport to be finished, including the runways, within 60 days, and the roads to be done within 90 days. Now, keep in mind that Don Mueang Airport has been closed since October 25th.
You can also watch our archive at the link that you will see now on the screen, and also you can also email us and Twitter.
Right, and that wraps up tonight's edition of the English News Service. I'm Supachon Suwan.
I'm Rungtip Chonapalai. Thanks for watching.
สวัสดีครับ